Welcome back to Rise Odyssey. Have you ever felt weary from interacting with people who seem friendly on the surface, but leave you feeling drained? In life, we encounter not only those who bring joy and happiness, but also individuals who may negatively impact our emotional well-being. Today, we will explore the insightful ideas of Carl Jung, one of the most influential figures in psychology, as he highlights 11 types of people to avoid. Recognizing these types can help you protect yourself and find peace in your life. Throughout our life's journey, we meet various people, some who uplift us and others who may harm our spirits. Carl Jung believed that not everyone has clear intentions. Some individuals might present friendly facades, yet harbor darker sides that can negatively influence our mental health. These individuals are not villains in disguise. They often are unaware of the impact they have on others. Join me as we embark on this journey of understanding to learn about the types of people Jung warned us to avoid. The unconscious manipulator. Let's start with the unconscious manipulator. Have you ever felt like you were carrying a heavy burden because someone else couldn't manage their own affairs? These individuals often live in a world of fear and lack, projecting their negative emotions onto those around them without realizing it. Jung once said, "People show you who they are, but we ignore it because we want them to be who we want them to be." The manipulative person uses their weakness to make you feel responsible for their emotions. They might ask you something like, "Don't you think you can help me with this?" Over time, you may find yourself exhausted, not from lending a hand, but from the emotional weight they place on your shoulders. Jung advises setting clear boundaries for yourself. Learn to say no when you feel uncomfortable and maintain a strong self-awareness about your own feelings. The eternal child, puer eternus. Next, we have the all-eternal child. These are individuals who never quite grow up and consistently avoid taking responsibility for their lives. They might appear vibrant and carefree, but they often act like children in adult bodies. Jung noted, "These individuals never learn to stand on their own 2 feet. You might find yourself helping a friend who continuously seeks your support without reciprocating when you're in need. This dynamic can feel burdensome, as if you're carrying a substantial weight without receiving the respect you deserve." Jung suggests that in relationships involving these individuals, it's essential to encourage them to stand on their own. Help them learn to solve their problems, rather than always stepping in as their savior. The person wearing a mask, persona. Now let's talk about those who wear a mask. They come into our lives with a flawless image, often charming and impressive. They create a bright persona to gain approval and admiration, but may hide deep insecurities underneath. Jung described the persona as the mask we wear to fit in. It's often not who we truly are. For instance, you might see someone deliver a confident presentation, only to return home feeling lonely and unloved. Interacting with such individuals often makes real connection difficult, leaving us feeling isolated from their true selves. To foster genuine relationships, Jung recommends encouraging openness and honesty in conversations. Create a safe space for others to share their true selves without fear of judgment. The tyrant. Next, we meet the tyrant, those who exert control over others and impose their will. You might notice their behavior through authoritative gestures or rigid demands. Jung noted that power without empathy leads to tyranny. Have you ever felt like a puppet under someone's thumb, never allowed to contribute to decision-making? This experience can be harsh, stripping away your sense of agency. In dealing with tyrants, Jung encourages establishing firm personal boundaries. Remind yourself that you deserve a voice and that your opinions matter. The holder of the repressed shadow. When discussing those who hold their repressed shadows, you might see individuals who appear pleasant but carry deep-seated fears. They often avoid confronting their darker sides. Jung emphasized, what we refuse to accept in ourselves, we will project onto others. You might recall someone who becomes defensive when criticized and quickly shifts the focus to others. An ordinary conversation can quickly turn into a contentious debate. Communicating with these individuals can feel overwhelming. To protect yourself, Jung suggests maintaining self-awareness and recognizing when they are projecting their issues onto you. Keep a healthy distance if conversations begin to heighten your anxiety. The blamer, projection. Now let's consider those who blame others for their problems. They often transfer their issues onto you, refusing to take responsibility for their actions. Jung wrote, when we cannot face ourselves, we reflect our pain onto others. When you bear the weight of their failures, you may find that tension increases. You might begin to feel that their troubles are somehow your fault, even when they are part of their personal journey. Jung suggests maintaining a calm demeanor and not allowing yourself to get caught up in their blame game. Remember that you are not the cause of their problems and gently set boundaries when necessary. The moral arbiter, let's not forget the key moral arbiter. Those who set high standards for themselves and others. They often feel that their perspectives are infallible and criticize those who diverge from their views. Jung noted that a lack of self-awareness often leads to harsh judgments of others. Being in the presence of these individuals can feel like being under constant scrutiny. Their critique may chip away at your self-confidence, leaving you feeling unworthy of love. Carl Jung advises focusing on your own standards and not letting others impose theirs upon you. Establish your values and understand that you have the right to live life according to your own convictions. The complex individual. As we explore the world of complex individuals, you may encounter those burdened by unresolved trauma, leading to unpredictable behaviors. Jung observed that the traumas we haven't healed will always be expressed through how we react. Interacting with these individuals can be daunting. A simple question from you might provoke an intense emotional response. This dynamic can create an unsafe environment in relationships where you seek connection. For complex individuals, Jung recommends taking time to understand them while also establishing necessary boundaries to protect your feelings. Sometimes keeping a safe distance is the best way to navigate emotional turbulence. The psychological vampire. Next, we have the psychological vampire. Those who sap your energy without giving back. They can sit beside you, listening to your stories, yet remain oblivious to the fact that your own vitality is fading. Jung remarked, some people can drain your life force without providing anything positive in return. Perhaps you have a friend who constantly seeks your emotional support while never asking about your well-being. Over time, you might realize you no longer have enough energy for yourself. Jung advises being cautious about how you allocate your time and energy with these individuals. Learn to limit lengthy conversations that don't foster balance, recognizing that sometimes saying no is essential to safeguard your own mental health. The dogmatic thinker. Let's now focus on the dogmatic thinker. Those who are rigid and dismissive of alternative viewpoints. They believe they possess the absolute truth, viewing others' opinions as less valid. Jung warned that dogma stifles creativity and inhibits growth. When interacting with such individuals, you may find it challenging to express your thoughts. A conversation can quickly transform into a clash of differing viewpoints without room for mutual respect. How to avoid? Jung suggests instead of confronting them head-on, remain calm and steadfast in your stance. Show them respect for their viewpoint while confidently asserting your perspective, and ask open-ended questions to encourage deeper reflection. The spiritual bypasser. Finally, we encounter the Spiritual bypasser. Those who use spiritual concepts to avoid dealing with real issues, hiding behind a facade of enlightenment. They might suggest finding peace while simultaneously avoiding confrontation with their own pain. Jung emphasized that escaping reality through spirituality will only lead to an incomplete life. When you meet these individuals, they may encourage you to seek solace from your struggles, but often avoid addressing their own inner turmoil. To avoid influence from spiritual bypassers, Jung recommends remaining true to your own feelings and experiences. Embrace your reality and know how to navigate your emotions honestly, without succumbing to distractions. The individuals that Carl Jung cautions us to avoid are not merely toxic influences in our lives. Each of them carries a story, a piece of pain, and a struggle that they may not know how to face. By recognizing and understanding the traits of each type, you can protect yourself and foster healthier relationships. Remember, your mental well-being is just as important as your physical health. Establishing healthy boundaries will help you distance yourself from toxic relationships. Prioritize self-care and be mindful of the company you keep. If you found this information valuable, please take a moment to like and subscribe to Rise Odyssey so that you don't miss any future videos. Let's share our experiences and dive deeper into these psychological insights together. Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.